mark your calendars and fire up your sewing machines. It's DiscarDisco. The Garbage Couture Extravaganza of the Year returns to the runway in 2022. Our annual fundraiser is an opportunity to turn a community's waste into a collection of unique garments made by artists and designers from all over Chicago. DiscarDisco designers are challenged to create a full, wearable look from a mystery box of discarded materials. All funds go towards supporting the WasteShed, a nonprofit resource for gently used art and school materials and a haven for creatives and educators. Event details and contest rules can be found at www.thewasteshed.com/DiscarDisco.
Oh, hello. Good evening and welcome to DiscarDisco 2022, Detritus Danceteria, the WasteShed's third annual trash fashion show. I'm your host, Hidcote. We have 27 fabulous artists and makers, both amateur and professional, presenting their upcycled couture, or trash, for our runway competition this evening. We are streaming to you and presenting live in person at The Beat Kitchen Chicago. In December, our DiscarDisco designers received a box of mystery post-consumer materials from the WasteShed. They had just 7 short weeks to complete one full runway look to be presented for the first time tonight. Contestants are competing for cash prizes and garbage glory. Tonight's event is a benefit for the WasteShed, a nonprofit whose mission is to save good, reusable materials from the landfill and provide an affordable resource for education and the arts in Chicago. Our goal is to provide a wealth of materials to support creativity and learning, while also reducing Chicago's environmental impact. The WasteShed is a delightful craft and creative miscellany store where you can find everything from buttons and beads and paper and pencils to vintage art and tools. The WasteShed has served Chicagoland for the last 7 years in Chicago's Humboldt Park neighborhood. This past November, the WasteShed reached a major milestone with the opening of our brand new second location in Evanston, bringing our creative abundance and programs to a new community. Over the years, we have provided Chicago with an estimated $1.6 million worth of creative supplies at a fraction of their new cost. Our contestants tonight are helping us to showcase the richness and this beautiful waste material by making Chicago's trash anew. They have used their time and creativity to conjure up some stunning looks to help us reach our fundraising goal of $10,000 to support our creative and environmental mission. Donate now at our donor box at thewasteshed.com/DiscarDisco. Comment the name of your favorite designer and your donation will cast a vote for our People's Choice Award winner. We are also running a raffle this evening. Check our website for more details at thewasteshed.com/DiscarDisco. That's DiscarDisco. Now, before we begin our runway show, I'm so excited to introduce the founder and executive director of the WasteShed, Eleanor Ray. Eleanor, how are you doing this evening?
I'm delighted to be here, and I'm so incredibly looking forward to sharing this amazing body of work with all of you.
Any sentiments you want to share with the audience?
Yes. The WasteShed community is a force for good in Chicago, a diverse network of ordinary and extraordinary people all over the city, creating the world we want to live in every day through care, play, curiosity, and courage. Our collective joy is critical to our collective survival, and accessible community resources like the WasteShed are a necessary medicine for the grief, stress, and isolation of the pandemic. We are so privileged to be a part of your making and learning, your celebration and frustration and vacation, and your healing and growth. We hope to continue expanding this work for many years to come. Enjoy the show.
Thank you, Eleanor. And thank you to our sponsors, VS Printing, Excel Displays and Packaging, Et Taylor, Leatherby Distillery, AIBI Chicago, and Minted Media Productions. And we are about to start our show. Our panel of expert judges will be assessing these garments for originality. How unique was their design, creativity, how well they reuse their materials, and construction, their overall attention to detail. Our top 3 contestants will earn cash prizes tonight. Be sure to visit our website to donate to vote for your choice at thewasteshed.com/DiscarDisco. Before we begin with our competition, I would like to introduce our guest entry this year, Blair Goldman. Blair was our first place winner last year and has elected not to compete against other contestants this year. We are so happy to have Blair back, and you are still welcome to donate to vote for her in the People's Choice Award. And now, to introduce our judges panel. Lauren Line is a 25-year Chicago fashion veteran. Her wearable couture ensembles and now unique face masks are owned across 35-plus states in the U.S., as well as 7 countries. Lauren is a 4-term president of the Apparel Industry Board, Inc., and a proud member of the Service Club of Chicago. Ayomi Ho Ken is a fashion, fibers, and photography artist studying at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. Her current work is focused on self, race, and the effects of the two. Using fashion as an art form is the basis of her approach. Leah Andrews is a jewelry designer based in Chicago. She's a certified jewelry appraiser through the GIA and is currently studying with the Gemological Institute of America to become a graduate gemologist. Rose May Turner, Rosie, is a sustainable swimwear designer and textile artist based in New York City. She is the founder of Rosina May, which takes you from the beach to the street to the party. Ethically produced on demand using recycled, regenerated vintage, or dead stock fabrics, each collection features patchwork, weaving, and other fun techniques. Now that we have met our judges, let's take a look at contestants' videos. Each contestant was tasked with not only creating their design, but also making their runway video for you today. Enjoy the show!
Okay, go.
Sidelko created this fun apron and scarf for DiscarDisco inspiration. It was made with scrap fabrics and notions from the WasteShed and the Fiber Shed. She is out of her apron and off to the DiscarDisco ball. Sidelko's purse is made from the green polyester. The handles were created by wrapping the tubing in black cording, and the lovely flower is made from scraps at the Fiber Shed.
Well, at least I did look fabulous.
Hi everyone, my name is Emily Piff and this is my final look for DiscarDisco, the WasteShed's annual trash fashion show. Everything on this outfit is made of used art materials chosen randomly by the WasteShed. My raw materials, as you can see, included this velvet fabric that immediately inspired me to channel a Renaissance fair, medieval vibe. I wanted my design to say, what would I wear every day in the 1300s? So I made a skirt of velvet fabric, of course including pockets to carry my coins and trinkets. This would be definitely a summer look with this light and airy top, open shoulders, and the fringe up front for a little razzle-dazzle. This was actually the first full outfit I've ever created as a whole, and I had a really great time. It was definitely a challenge, but I learned new things, and I love what I ended up with. Thank you so much to the WasteShed for hosting this event, and if you are able to, please donate to the WasteShed. They provide free art supplies to teachers, they prevent so much waste, and they're just a huge asset to the Chicago community. Thank you to everyone for watching.
Hi, I'm Sue Killelea, she, her pronouns, and this is my DiscarDisco outfit. So for this outfit, this was the main fabric that I had in my box, and so I used this for both my cape and the skirt. I also had some fabric that I had at home to make the liner for the cape. I used the clip that I was given and the soup spoon for my crown, along with some lace that I was given in my box. For my shirt, I used an old shirt that I owned that I had stained and so I could no longer wear. I converted it into a halter top, and then I used some of the lace for an extra strap in the shirt. So I was able to use a lot of pieces in my box, and then a couple of things that I had around home to make my complete outfit. Thanks!
Hello, my name is Jessica and this is my video for DiscarDisco. As you can see, I started out with a basic tan colored dress. I had some great fabric that was nice and stretchy, and I thought, why don't I make a base layer that I can then layer on with some accessories and kind of have a look that's interchangeable depending on what I did with those accessories. I put some rosettes on my shoe. I used this material to make a scarf that could be worn in different ways. I also used some of that purple fabric to make rosettes on I'll call it a belt, but it could be worn as a necklace. Made a bracelet out of some fabric and some yarn. I had some styrofoam eggs that I went and changed into earrings, and then I made a colorful necklace out of some beads. In my box was a coil of, I'll call it rope. I made that in a circle, sewed it, and then attached some purple fabric on the back with a zipper to make a clutch, which I'm really happy how that turned out. Here's one configuration of all the accessories layered on top of the dress. But the cool thing was that I could change it up. On the first one, I was wearing that purple belt around my neck as a necklace, but I could also wear it as a belt and take that scarf and wear it as on my head as a little head scarf. So that was kind of my idea, and I was excited to be able to create new ways of wearing the items.
My name is Dede Downs. I live in Colorado. My connection to Chicago is our daughter Sarah recently moved there, and my hubby grew up in Downers Grove. So we have lots of family in Illinois. Thanks to the WasteShed for this opportunity to participate in DiscarDisco 2022. The video we just watched is my inspiration for this fashion design. I needed a jacket that was flowing. After I sewed the jacket, I realized I can wear it in many different ways. Bonus. Reversible hat. The purse strap is interchangeable. I took out the boa and added the lace. I took some bicycle inner tubes and I made some jewelry. Denim squares I sewed together many years ago was finished with a piece of WasteShed material, and I turned it into a mini blanket. Please note the buckle and its functionality.
I wasn't sure where the full look would go, but I started with the idea of using my 4 clips on a garter belt. I made a matching bra and used one additional fabric, green deadstock denim that I already owned, to make its adjustable straps. I closed the garter belt with buttons and trimmed both with rickrack. I loved the idea of this sturdy fabric with industrial straps and buckles holding together the softer, flowing fabrics. For the accessories, I stuffed my yarn pieces into the silk to create a puffy braided headband. The earrings feature flowers from the button packaging. I painted the buttons, glued them together, and added unraveled yarn to make the fringe. The necklace is rickrack and the final 2 buttons. The purple silk and white knit are one dress with an elastic waistband. I used avocados to dye the white just a bit so the color was less stark. It didn't make too much of a difference, but I'm glad I tried the process. And fabrics that I really wasn't sure I could get to go together, and I'm so happy with how this old Hollywood Greek goddess punk fairy look turned out.
Hi, I'm Theo, and this is how I made this shirt. It was really hard to cut out. It's sequins, and I had to remove all of the sequins individually in order to sew it. These are some jeans that my boyfriend gave me. How did that happen to them? But I used them as the lining so that it was comfortable. This is some really ugly fabric, cabbage, beets, which I burned, black beans that I used to dye it. POV, it's 5 a.m. and everything smells like cabbage, and your girlfriend is hanging soggy bits of fabric on a microphone stand in your shower, and I spray painted some shoes.
Hello, I am Mary Tapia, and this is Mrs. Peacock in the cocktail lounge with a sewing needle. This design was inspired by the monochromatic blue fabrics in my mystery box, along with the cocktail shaker-shaped beads and the bright blue bottle openers. I added additional blue and white components from 2 rolls of lampshade paper I had sourced years ago from a zero landfill event. I am a novice sewer and kept it simple. The brown plastic 3-point harness that is the one common element in all of our mystery boxes inspired the design for the back of the dress. Due to the simple nature of my dress design, I knew I had to accessorize. Using a vintage hat for inspiration, I prototyped with cardboard from the mystery box itself. I created the netting with the beads and thread as a period piece was starting to emerge. The cardboard box also provided the perfect panels to cover in fabric to create my handbag. The key rings from my bottle openers are linked together to form the handbag handle. My fabric scraps were used to cover buttons that I used mostly as decorative items for the hat and bag. Yet one does serve as a snap closure for the racer back strap attached to the top of the skirt. The WasteShed keeps my choice-based K2 art room stocked. Their free for teacher section is invaluable. I had envisioned something more Jackie O and less Mary Poppins. However, I had to go where the materials led me.
My name is Marissa, and I'm a co-founder of the Chicago Historical Costume Society. This look was inspired by French fashions of the late 18th century, as well as the traditional folk costumes of Scandinavia and Eastern Europe. When I unboxed my materials, I was immediately drawn to 2 small pieces of red and brown floral fabric. Thanks to some creative piecing and seam work, I was able to make them the centerpiece of this dress. I also challenged myself to create a garment without any zippers, so this dress opens with buttons in the bodice and a fall front skirt that can be tied under the bodice or over the top of it, apron style. Something I really love about traditional and historic fashions is the storage built into the ensemble. So instead of a purse, I made a tie-on pocket to wear underneath my dress from an embroidered panel I found at the WasteShed. As you can see, it holds quite a bit. I also wanted to show off the contrast between the right and wrong sides of the skirt material. I love that it has tiny dragons on it. The pipe cleaners I got in my box became my headpiece and the floral embellishments. I supplemented my look with a few other finds from the WasteShed, including pillowcases and a tablecloth for the sleeves of the dress. I also found some broken pearl necklaces, and I used them to make my earrings and my necklace, as well as using the wooden beads I got in my box. Finally, I used my 5-point buckle and my great-grandmother's perfume flask and funnel and some other trinkets to create a chatelaine, which is basically a beautiful utility belt. The buckle still works, so I can swap out different sets of accessories to my heart's delight. Romantic, practical, and outside of time, this look is the embodiment of folklore.
Here's my design for DiscarDisco 2022. The additional materials that I used outside of the pink fabric and yarn was some denim purchased from the WasteShed, along with some scrap fabric used to create a puffer jacket. I used materials cut off from my fabric that I owned and also some scrap fabric from AIBI Sewing Lab. This look is designed by an up-and-coming artist, Lil Jada. I created a playlist of a few of her songs, and this is the look that I came up with. The zipper is located in the back of the pant instead of the front, and it also ties up on the side with the yarn all the way to the waistband. To match the side lace, I decided to cut the sleeve in the middle and also put yarn there. Thank you. I hope you enjoy.
little battle veil is made from reconstructed tassel. The head spikes are made from the abundant mystery box cork shrouded in the provided sturdy blue fabric. The flower chain scarf is stuffed entirely with scrap fabric. Equipped with a fully functional secret swan pocket. The inner lining is a upcycled thrift store cotton sheet. The harness is made by harvesting the wings off of the mystery box swan fabric and configuring them with the plastic clip hardware. The flower chain scarf also functions as a zip-up bag. The bag is constructed using a mystery box zipper and mini cheetah print fabric sewn inside out for a more subtle appearance.
I'm Katie Schweitzer, and I'm a designer and maker here in Chicago. My supplied materials consisted of an odd combination of the utilitarian and the fanciful. I really wanted to capture that duality and tension in this outfit. I was inspired by mid-20th century fashion, particularly the 1930s through the 50s. There's just something about that keep calm and carry on attitude that feels particularly relevant these days. I especially looked to my two grandmothers, who were both simultaneously practical and feminine, and always stylish. In the spirit of creative reuse, I supplemented the supplied materials with some additional thrift store and estate sale finds from my existing stash, as well as a few previously owned and deadstock gems sourced online. In the final look, a tulle underskirt gives buoyancy to the floral half-circle skirt. In contrast, the sequined epaulets, dyed cord trim, and functional buckle add a regimental flair to the top. The handbag is constructed from the cardboard box that was supplied and trimmed with scraps of vintage lace. The finishing touch is a padded headband swathed with tulle. We're in a moment now in which any fashion that deviates from comfort and practicality feels frivolous. Clothes are just clothes. But this challenge was an opportunity to find solace in the act of creating and joy in the unexpected beauty of the materials. So thank you for watching. Please support the WasteShed and their mission of creative reuse.
My name is Jess Crane, and I'm a fashion designer from the Chicagoland area. I made a kimono with the see-through beaded magenta material. It has designated sleeve openings and a vent at the hem. It can be tied in the front or relaxed. I used the shirting material to make the center and sleeves of the bodice. They are cap sleeves with an overlap. The paneling is leftover stretch denim from a project long ago. The diamond material was in my box and came in a narrow, long rectangle. It was interesting to come up with pattern pieces that would fit on it. The piece was too narrow for the back, so I added denim. The waistband is fully faced in contrast material. An invisible zipper as a closure. I used the scraps to make trims and accessories. The harness buckle kind of reminded me of a jetpack. I used it to make a backpack. Long scraps of material were tubed to make the straps. The other clips that I was given attached to the harness buckle and are the bag's closure. I used the pink lace as a trim on the bag flap. Other scraps were used as trim on other parts of the bag. I backed the see-through material so I could use it on a panel of the bag to tie back to the outfit. I had a loop for the clip in my stash. The bag is fully functional and the kimono fits inside. I used scraps and the buckle to make a headband. When I started this project with a lot of scraps, a lot of ideas came to mind. Something that was important to me was to show how scraps and leftover materials can be used to make clothing and accessories that can be worn by someone as daily apparel. This is a form of sustainability, meeting the need using materials that could have ended up in a landfill.
The biggest piece of fabric in my box was a shiny vinyl polyester. This said 1970s to me, and I started to dive into the fabrics and styles of that era. When I think 70s, I think pants. My first idea was to do something with a lot of flair, but I didn't want this outfit to be too costumey, so I went with a slim trouser. I saw a lot of plaid in 70s looks, so I pieced my many fabrics together to make a plaid. To add texture to the plaid, I hand-sewed the home decor fringe and plastic slides to the piece textile. The vest is fully lined, using the same tan poly as the pants on the sides and an old pillowcase on the back. Buttons from the box secure the front together. The camisole is made with red polyester in front. The back and straps are pieced ribbons, and more buttons are used to secure it in back. The handbag is assembled from the remaining fabrics in the box. Half a foam circle and a large fastener are used as design elements in the front. Small plastic slides attach the straps. The bag structure is provided by cardboard from the box itself. For the necklace, I cut and shaped the foam eggs, then used thread from the home decor fringe to wrap around each piece. Paper clips and hot glue are used to put them together, and 2 clips attach the ribbons. I used a portion of every material in my box. The only non-box materials I used were brown taffeta from the WasteShed, some scraps of black fabric, a zipper, some paper clips, and an old bed sheet and pillowcase. Thank you to the WasteShed. This has been an amazing experience, and I've had so much fun.
My name is Paige Himeki, presenting my design, Some Old Things as Something New. I received my box, which contained a huge amount of white striped fabric, some silk flowers, some plastic clips, as well as a bunch of quilt squares and scraps. With all the white fabric, I decided on a bridal theme and did a 2-piece top and skirt look, a light-up purse, and of course a quilted jacket. My design also includes my grandma's old earrings and a veil made from tulle I found in the WasteShed free bin, as well as the buckle and pink tissue from my box. The skirt incorporates the metal hook and eye from my designer box. The jacket uses one of the clips from my designer box, as well as the red long strips, which I made into bias tape as a binding. The purse uses the silk flowers and the drapery cord and tassel from my designer box, as well as the Christmas lights I found at the WasteShed. For the tank top, I made bias tape out of some fabric scrap on hand and finished the waist to wedding look with a skirt leaf motif. Thanks to the WasteShed for this fun and creative event. I encourage everyone to support their mission and check out their shops.
My box consisted of 3 pieces of fabric, a zipper, a buckle, 2 trims, and my personal favorite, the styrofoam eggs. The lush fabrics and beautiful trims made me think of royalty, so I decided to turn them into an outfit fit for a queen of Trashion. I used the main piece of fabric to create the cape dress, and the 2 little pieces I used for embellishments. One I cut the flowers out of, and the other I made into bias tape. The buckle gets a place of honor right on the center back. 1 purple trim went around the waist as a belt, and the other purple trim I deconstructed and applied as more embellishment. I decided that I wanted to try to use everything that came with my mystery package, so I used the cardboard to create a little bag to match my outfit, which is where the little pink zipper ended up. I also made a crown with a cardboard base and tissue paper to cover the edges and give it some texture before I painted it. But I'm sure you're wondering where those styrofoam eggs are. I found out that if you put styrofoam in acetone, it shrinks down into a sticky goo, which leads to all sorts of possibilities. I had a blast experimenting with this, trying different shapes and methods. I used the newly squished styrofoam dough to make earrings and some fake jewels for the crown. I even made some molds from buttons using hot glue. I ended up having so much fun that I ran out of eggs and resorted to supplementing with some old Play-Doh. I had so much fun with this project. I want to say a big thank you to the WasteShed for putting it on.
I'm super proud of myself for what I did. This process was challenging. I decided, without any previous seamstress knowledge or jewelry making knowledge, that I was going to put together this outfit. I broke at least 3 sewing machine needles, but I learned a lot. It was all just a wonderful learning experience, and it dove me into a world that I probably would never have gone into otherwise. I definitely felt out of my comfort zone and relied very heavily on Pinterest. I was inspired by the ocean at first, and it doesn't really look like it. It looks like something like the Tree of Gaia. So when I first started putting this together, I thought of a water nymph in her garden. I was also inspired by the 1950s cocktail dress. Those coins are in the necklace. The brown material obviously is throughout the dress. The white material and the green material were both used in the corset top. The flower material I used in the tree design, and then the buckle I used on the back. I even actually used a little bit of the cardboard from the box itself to form the top of the corset. Thank you so much. I hope you all like it.
Snow falling on the ground doesn't make a sound. Paints a living portrait in the window of my living room. I couldn't hold a thought, a memory in rot, now delicate and frail. Time meet me in the pale, alternating when it soon begins to bend. Snow falling on the ground, effervescent town, riding in the spring to bring another winter bloom again. Fall in upon the earth, reverse internal birth, reborn until the end. Catch still a moving part, weathering the start, echoing around.
Hi, my name is Lindsay, and everything that you see here I made by hand or repurposed from something else. I made the anklets and the shoe holsters out of fabric from my box. I painted them and made about 12 flowers and secured them to elastic. The skirt I made from bubble wrap and Go Puff bags, and the bow and the lace trim is from an old wedding dress. The top has the daisy fabric from my box, some buttons, some blue lace trim for the straps, and the shoulder pads are tin foil and plastic O-rings that hold pop cans together. The butterflies are some added details that I have laying around to bring some sparkle to the piece. The harness is a buckle that I painted silver, and I also put some pretty beautiful jewels on. The headpiece is actually a dryer vent that was included in my box, and I turned it into a headpiece secured with elastic, put some beautiful trim on it, and added some butterflies for detail. This is the finished look. I hope you like it. The stockings I did not make. Those were just in my house and I put on to add to the details, but for the most part, everything else that I made. The shoes I pre-made a previous year for New Year's Eve, and I hand glued all of them to the shoes. This project was really, really fun, and I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful, fabulous videos. Let's go to the judges to their thoughts.
Thank you, Kalpita. My name is Teresa. I'm the volunteer coordinator at the WasteShed. We have all sorts of volunteer opportunities. If you'd like to find out more, visit thewasteshed.com/volunteer. Today, our judges panel is consisting of all volunteers. They took the time to watch these videos and come to a decision, take the time to deliberate. So let's get to our judges. All right, well, thank you, judges, for viewing these contestants. We just saw these amazing entries. What are your thoughts?
Wow. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
It was amazing. It was like it never nonstop, one after another. 27 contestants. They all had their own inspiration, their own body of work. That was incredible. I don't know about the rest of you judges, but for me, it took 3 times of watching it totally over and over to try to narrow it down. And it was rough, but very good talent. So thank you, WasteShed, for letting us be part of this. It was amazing.
Yeah, it definitely was really hard to choose. I have at least like 10 people that I think are great. So narrowing it down to 3 is going to be very difficult. I mean, I have my few, but you know, lots of amazing people.
Great. So we are going to take some time for you all to deliberate. So we're going to check back in with you if you want to have your discussion, and then we'll come back and we'll choose who is the winner.
Like arts? How about crafts? Check out the WasteShed in Evanston, Illinois. They have craft markers, colored pencils, colored anglies, yarn babies, birks, glue, tape, glue that doesn't play around, mannequins, vinyl stickers, regular stickers, mannequin torso, colored anglies, neck danglies, judgmental benches, long uncomfortable benches, drawing pads, desk organizers, fabric, crowns, photographs, mystery eggs, holiday mystery eggs, donkeys, these guys, trash, bins, boxes, bins of boxes, super mystery boxes, flame murderers, rummikub, Mac, bottles, a section of items that is free for teachers, frogs, giraffes, camels, special pendants, mirrors, staplers, ballon. It's located in this building, the WasteShed. Why not weave together? Seriously, if you're a teacher, just come over and get this stuff, no charge.
All right, welcome back. Thank you so much. I know the deliberations were very difficult. It has been a very impressive body of work. It is very hard to make decisions here. We have 27 contestants and they all showed us incredible talent and creativity. So we did decide on some winners. I believe we have some honorable mentions before we get to our final contestants. Rosie, did you want to make some honorable mentions here?
Sure. Yes, this was such a fun process. So yeah, shout outs to, I think we have 5 honorable mentions. Such amazing work. Shout outs to Avery for their amazing flower bag. I love how it's just got such an incredible shape. It looks like it holds a good amount of stuff. Very innovative and very unique. So props to you. And also shout outs to Amy. We loved your look and how challenging it must have been to match all of those plaids, all the seams. Really wearable, super cute. We loved Marie, that look that you could wear yourself, and also that your cat could enjoy. I think is just really like such an unusual twist on things. Of course, having a furry friend enjoy it is great. We also loved Adeline's look. I think it's really great that you used the DiscarDisco packaging as a handbag, very unusual and cool. And also Theo, loved that you decided to take such time to dye every scrap of fabric. Looked like a real challenge, and I think like the end result was really great. So yeah, congrats.
Great. Thank you, Rosie. All right, so we are going to go to our 3rd place winner. This year we have, Lauren is going to announce our 3rd place winner. Take it away, Lauren.
Absolutely. Very excited to deliberate on all of this, and it's taken us a while, but we have come to the 3rd place winner is our trashy, wonderful Chicago pirate, Chris, who has been with us for a couple of years now. I believe he won the People's Choice Award last year. And this year, the judges have voted him as 3rd place. His attention to detail as far as the video, the music, and the actual garments, the mask, the vest, everything about the details, the skirt, I want that skirt, please get a hold of me. Absolutely smashingly couture, Chicago, trash made into couture. Fantastic job. Congratulations, Chris. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Lauren. And then to announce our 2nd place winner, Leah.
So this was such a close running, and I have to announce that we have a tie for 2nd place. So I would like to announce our 2 2nd place winners are Madeline. Your use of the materials were out of this world. Boiling down those eggs in acetone and creating your own jewels was inspired. And the silhouette of your look was absolutely stunning. I cannot rave enough about this look. And then our other 2nd place winner, Miranda, your ethereal Athena punk rock pixie look was absolutely gorgeous. We loved all of the tailoring, all of the construction, the architecture on it was flawless. So congratulations to you both. You both have 2nd place.
Great. And then to announce our first place winner this year of DiscarDisco 2022. This is our virtual hybrid event. This is a huge deal for the WasteShed. Who is our winner this year? Ayomi, take it away.
So like we've been saying, we have been rewatching all these videos. It was a very hard decision, but the person who won, they used the materials absolutely astoundingly. Their construction was fantastic, originality, everything, top to bottom, amazing. And our winner is Morgan. Your use of the dryer, oh my gosh, I keep doing this. Dryer vent was absolutely amazing. Just completely stunning. Your construction was beautiful, especially everything underneath your cape. Fantastic. So congratulations on winning.
Great.
Yay.
Thank you so much, judges, for joining us for this year. We really appreciate your expertise, your attention to detail, your time in taking, consideration when viewing what people are doing with these reused materials. Thank you so much this evening. Thank you, everybody, for coming to DiscarDisco. Have a great night. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We encourage all of you at home and at the Beat Kitchen to donate generously to the WasteShed. Thank you to Culpita Chakotay, our gracious MC, to the DiscarDisco organizers, Kat Anderson and Ambar Campos of AIBI, Teresa Meza and Wende Kalupe of Minted Media Productions. Thank you also to Francis Son for video production, Drew Durapos for our promo video, Anna Jo Beck for graphic design, and Birds and B-Sides DJ for DJing the live event. Thank you to the WasteShed staff, Emily, Tia, Mac, CJ, Han, Frank, Teresa, Lewis, and Susan. Good night and take care.